Bienvenidos, and welcome to my channel. I've been a fan of D&D for a very long time, and beyond the very cool dice, great storytelling, and imaginary worlds, I fell in love with the miniatures. I painted my first minis around that time, and have been painting them ever since. So follow along with my channel, and see if this old dog gamer can learn some new tricks. Welcome to episode 20. So, Yuan-Ti see my latest project? Huh? Nah, it's not that bad. A friend from work asked me if I could paint his character mini, and of course I said yes. Playing a Yuan-Ti named Prince Asazsi was not what I was expecting, but I love the idea of playing monstrous races, especially when it fits the story. He even provided me his character portrait, which is done by artist Kris Lewis. Check the description for the link to their website. Hi! So, yeah, I'm a dumbass and forgot to record the first day of painting this mini. What you should be watching right now is me painting the red skin and grayish-brown scales, but you're not because I'm a dumbass. Instead, we're going to pick up at the place where I start all the detail work, the more interesting part anyway, in my opinion. Here I work through the leather, the sheath, and the bracers. So, my channel may not have a sponsor, but apparently my camera does, because all it seems to want to do is focus on the paint itself, and not the application of said paint. And here we see the speed paint in its natural habitat. Look how that tiny pot of blood for the blood god just blends in there, like it's become part of the herd. Well, speaking of paint supplies, here's a shout out to my friends over at the Kobold's Lair, your source for army painter and citadel painting supplies.
Need dice out on the high seas? What about minis in the jungle? We've got you covered with paints, terrain, minis, and more. Located at 1270 Front Street in Crescent City. Open 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday. The Kobold's Lair, supplying your battlefield since 2023.
Once I had finished with the speed paints, it was time to break out the nice sable brushes and work on the acrylic touch-ups. As quick as removing the lid, I was on to the wet palette and bringing out the details. When I went to do the black staining on the scales, a glitch in the matrix gave me 0 usable footage, so I'll describe my process. Having tried a black dry brush, which looked horrendous, I tried a wet dry brush instead. I'll explain. Instead of a standard dry brush, where you remove most of the paint onto a texture palette, I removed most of the paint on a wet palette instead. It allowed the red to show through and gave it a more natural snake-like pattern, as you can see. In painting the yellow eyes, so help me he had yellow eyes, I realized that my Fanatic Paints complete set could not get here fast enough. I am so tired of the traditional yellow coverage. When it came time for the metallics, I think the speed paint did an excellent job, but I wanted some more details, so I grabbed my acrylic metallics and did some highlighting. With the highlights done, it was time to get the quick shades out and finish it off. I used red tone for the back scales, dark tone for everything else, and a light tone for the ground underneath. With the shades done, I saw that some areas had darkened too much, so it was back to the acrylics to bring those details back up. And just like that, we have a Prince Asazsi in 3 dimensions. I sent pictures to my friend and he says, I quote, "This is looking badass, so I think I did a good enough job on it." You tell me what you think in the comments below. The good, the bad, and the ugly. If you liked the video and you want to see more of my channel, you know the drill. Like, subscribe, and share. Until next time, they ain't gonna paint themselves.